In 2021, I spent 660,000 TT dollars on a BMW. That's $100,000 USD. With Trinidad taxes, that vehicle cost me more than most people earn in 3 years. I thought owning it would indicate to me that I made it, but what it actually told me was the opposite. In that same period, I had a student, a man who had just retired from being a vice principal at a very prominent primary school. 40 years in education, a quiet man. He was a disciplined trader. He generated real profits month after month, and he refused to spend a single dollar of it. Not on dinner, not on travel, not even on his wife. He told himself he'd use the money later when the account was bigger, when he'd really made it. Unfortunately, his wife died, and later never came in the way that he expected it. So, today I want to talk to you about money and what it's actually for, and why most traders, even the disciplined ones, end up losing everything that they make. I'm Tyrone, and this is the Caribbean Capitalist. So, welcome to the Caribbean Capitalist. I'm Tyrone Achee-Stewart, founder of Summit Solutions Caribbean, an FTMO funded trader with 17 years in finance and business. This show is for the Caribbean professional who has done everything right, built a career, saved responsibly, raised a family, and quietly knows that the pension and the local currency salary won't be enough. There's a new episode every Tuesday. So if you've ever wondered whether you'll have enough at the end of your career, whether your pension and your savings will deliver the life you've actually worked for, this show is for you. And if you've ever made money and then watch yourself either spend it on the wrong things or freeze and refuse to spend it on the right things, then today's episode is especially for you. So let me tell you about the BMW first. It was a 2021 420i with Trinidad import taxes. It came out at roughly 100,000 US dollars. I bought it because I'd had a few good years and I wanted to prove something to myself, to the people around me, to that version of me that grew up watching other men drive cars like that and assuming that meant they figured something out. Now, the first week I had it, I felt exactly what I expected to feel. The second month, I started noticing things that I hadn't expected. People I didn't know looking at me longer than was comfortable. Conversations that became more transactional in ways they hadn't been before. A subtle shift in how some of my friends treated me. Not bad, just differently. The car was doing work I hadn't actually asked it to do. And here's the part that took me longer to admit. I wasn't happier driving it than I had been driving a normal car. The car wasn't the problem, the expectation was. I'd told myself that the money would make me into a different person if I'd spent it on the right object. The object delivered exactly what an object can deliver, which is to say, not very much. So, around the same time that I was learning what money couldn't do from the wrong direction, I had a student learning the same lesson from the opposite side. He had just retired from being a vice principal from a primary school in Trinidad. 40 years of education. I'm not going to share his name out of respect for his family, but I'll tell you what kind of student he was. He was patient, he was mechanical, and he followed the rules of the system better than most students I've ever worked with. He didn't second guess it. He didn't revenge trade. He didn't over leverage. By every external measure, he was doing what a successful trader is supposed to be doing. He'd given himself this, the trading, the discipline, the daily practice, as a project of his retirement. The thing that would make this next chapter mean something. But he never withdrew the money. He told me early on that he came into trading because he wanted something to do. He just finished 40 years of demanding work and he wanted something to keep him going. Something that engaged a different part of his brain. He didn't really need cash. His pension covered his entire life. The trading account was supposed to be the project and not the income. Now he traded well, profits accumulated, the account grew, and the money just sat there. He was newly retired. He had time, finally. Time to travel with his wife, time to share meals that weren't rushed between school periods, time to do everything they'd waited for their entire working lives to do. He sat on the screen instead. He didn't take on the trip they talked about for years. He didn't upgrade dinners that they shared. He didn't move them into a slightly nicer house like what he planned to do. He didn't buy her the small things they'd mentioned wanting. The money was there. It just was not real to him. It was on the money screen and the number kept going up. And that was the point until his wife died. Now, I won't go into the details. I was on mine to share. But what I'll tell you is what happened in the weeks after. He still had the account, the number was growing, and he had nothing to do with it. No trips that they taken together that they could remember warmly, as far as I know. No meals, no experiences he could have held on to. The money had been the engagement. She had been his life. He had not put the two together while he had the chance. I sat with him not long after, as a friend, not just a coach. He told me, and I'll never forget this. I really thought I had time. That sentence is the whole episode here. I learned from my car that money spent on the wrong thing teaches you what money cannot do. Now, he taught me without meaning to that money never spent at all teaches you the same lesson. The shapes look different, the cost is the same. Now, what I see in students who blow up funded accounts isn't bad technique, it's disconnection. They either never withdraw the money, they never use it, they never let it become real. And money that isn't real is easy to lose because losing it doesn't feel like losing anything. Think about the difference between paying cash for something and paying with your credit card. Now, the cash is real. You feel it leave your hand. The credit card, however, is a number on a screen that you'll deal with later. Trading profits left in the account work exactly the same way. I'm all for scaling, but they become a credit card you never paid, and one day the bill might come due. Sometimes in the form of a blow-on account, sometimes in the form of a life you didn't actually live. This is why the summit system teaches you to withdraw your profits. Use them. Spend some of them on the people that you love. Travel with the money, eat better meals, build memories with the people who matter to you. The discipline isn't only how you enter trades, the discipline is in how you let the money out into your life so that you never forget what you're doing this for. The account doesn't know who you love, so you have to. Now, if any of this lands for you, if you've been telling yourself you'll spend it later, or you've been spending it on the wrong things now, there's a link below to a 12-question assessment that I built called the Summit System Assessment. It maps where you are right now in your relationship with money, with trading, and what you're actually trying to build. Now, it's free. It takes about 4 minutes to do, and you'll come out the other side with a clearer sense of what your next step looks like and whether trading is even the right path for you at this point in your life. So that's it for this episode. I'm Tyrone. New episode every Tuesday. I'll see you in the next one.